What's good, YouTube? Digger Jones here, and as promised, today we're going to be looking at our desired build for the upcoming survival mode. First things first, I would like to make this a kind of cooperative sort of playthrough. We're going to be doing a lot of different things together. First and foremost, I want to leave the naming process up to you guys. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Nothing's really off limits, but don't be surprised if I don't pick Scrody McBallsack for the name of our character. The character is going to be male, if that matters to you. So let's hear what you guys have to say. We'll probably put together 3 to 5 of the top contenders and throw up a straw poll and see which one wins out in the end. So let's get on into our build and why we are picking the things that we are picking. So this is also one of those things that's going to be a little bit open to interpretation. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on why you think this is good, bad, indifferent. So let's get into it. Our first stat, strength, we're going to go with a 6 in this one. Now this is pretty unusual for me, but given the changes to carrying capacity and the fact that ammunition is now going to have weight, we're going to need, I think, strong back pretty early on in the game. We might be able to skirt by without it, but also bear in mind we're dealing with a Nuka-Cola addiction, and that means we're going to be picking up a lot of Nuka-Colas, and they weigh, I think, a half pound each, so that's a pretty significant amount of weight. The only way we'll be able to get rid of Nuka-Colas is to drink them if we really need to. So we're going to be picking Armorer and Strongback from the strength category. In Perception, because we know we're going to get the Perception bobblehead early on, as well as we know that we get an extra bonus point from the Your Special book, I'm going to start with a 3 in Perception, but I'm going to put Your Special into Perception, and we're going to get that bobblehead straight away, and that will leave us with a 5 in Perception, and we want that for Locksmith at rank 4 and Demolitions Expert at rank 5. We want Demolitions Expert because in this mode, with the new damage scaling, explosives are going to be super useful, especially when we have to deal with a large camp of enemies. The main strategy there is going to be wait for 3 or 4 of them to cluster up together, drop a frag grenade or a Molotov cocktail in their lap, and watch a large portion of the enemy forces disappear in one shot. Then from there, we will simply deal with the remainder of the enemies as needed. So I really think that explosives are going to be a strong part of this playthrough. Endurance is going to stay at 1 because there's not a whole lot in there I think that's particularly useful. Toughness is by far the best perk in the entire category, and that comes at level 1, and we will only put any points into that if we're really struggling to stay alive, which, given the fact that our preferred play method is going to be killing them before they even know we're there, I don't really see that as being much of a problem. Charisma, this is another one I wouldn't normally do this with, but I'm thinking of starting it up at 6. We're going to want to get to local leader as soon as possible, and in addition to that, it's going to be useful to talk our way out of situations whenever possible. So we'll be wearing some charisma gear when we need to do charisma checks, and we'll start off with this. And we really want local leader because supply lines are going to be super useful. Settlements are going to be more useful than they ever were before, and being able to use your materials across the wasteland I think is going to be very beneficial. Plus, it would be kind of nice if Bethesda did cave a little bit on the no fast travel thing and at least allowed us to travel between supplied settlements. So if that's the case, but this is another one of those that's up for debate. Now, intelligence, we're going to put up to 4 for hacking because, like Locksmith, I like to get those up as soon as possible. I like to be able to get into anything. I don't like being locked out of stuff. So it's not entirely necessary, but definitely one that I want to go with. 7's going to be our main stat, or I'm sorry, agility is going to be our main stat, and it is going to be at 7. Of course, we want this for ninja, but we also really want sneak out of this. Sneak is going to be the most important perk of all. Any level that perk is available at, we will be putting it up as a matter of course. And then luck, we are going to leave at 1. Oh my god, scrub build, game over. Calling the National Guard, this guy's a fucking idiot. I get it. This is one of those stats that, you know, I took everything that I could out of it to put into strength and charisma, which are stats that I wouldn't normally bother with too much. So in a normal playthrough, I'd probably have a 3 in strength just for armorer, and I would probably have a little bit less in no, I would have 4 in intelligence for hacking, and I'd have less in charisma, and all of those points would be put into luck. So, but I don't think that critical hits are going to be as necessary as they might have been in previous versions, because again, the damage scaling has changed so much that enemies are going to die pretty quickly anyways. So it's my hope that if we do need luck and we do need critical hits, it won't be until much later on in the game, like 30 plus, at which time we can start putting some points into luck in order to get those criticals. But first and foremost, we want to get sneak up, we want to get ninja, we're going to want to get Mr. Sandman. Lone Wanderer is going to be one of those other perks that we're going to take almost immediately from the charisma stat, because, you know, damage resistance, carrying capacity, and at its 3rd rank, 25% additional damage. And this character is not going to walk around with any companions whatsoever. I hate companions. They're annoying. They talk too much, and they get in your way. I can't stand them. And the fact that they're going to be even more temperamental now, yeah, no. Because if they go down and you don't run over and stem pack them, they will not pick themselves back up. And if you just leave them laying there, they'll eventually get pissed off at you and leave your company, go back to where they came from. And I don't know what you have to do at that point, but you probably got to send them flowers or some shit to make them happy. So we're not going to worry with companions at all, except when the game forces us to have someone with us. So again, all of this is up in the air at the moment. I'd really like to hear some discussions. I want to hear what you guys think is going to be the best stats and perks to go with. Let me know how we might change this. And again, let's get some names rolling in so that we can figure out what this guy's going to be called. I really thank you guys for watching. I'm Deeker Jones. I hope you guys have a very nice day.